evening, wherever you are. This is Radio W.O.R.K.S. World, your host for Springs of Life, Jossine Abrahams, speaking from London, United Kingdom. Welcome to the show. It has been a long while since from last week when we last spoke about peace, and we are getting there now because it has been a long process. We spoke about hate, pain, fear, abuse, forgiveness and forget, and peace. Now today, I decided we should speak about trust. After going through all those things, you need to go and find yourself peace. And how do you find peace? You begin to trust people again. Whoever has done anything to you, whoever has spoiled your life before, you need to forgive them. As I have always said, the only way to be happy in this life is to forgive and forget about all the process which you have gone through. It is entirely up to the individual to see that you need peace, and it has taken so long. Once you have peace, you need to start trusting people. It is very, very important to trust. We understand trusting is a process, and as human beings, we need to start going on into that process and believing in what we are starting again. It is good for the soul. It is good for myself. It is good for whoever has hurt me before, because if we don't trust, that means we don't move on. So the question now is it worth it to trust those people? Do I want this? Whose is it for? Am I gaining? Am I losing on it? Why am I staying in this bondage? Do I really want to suffer anymore? Do I want this? I think I want my freedom. So these are things which will come into your mind when you decide to trust. Right. Why do you decide to trust? I decide to trust because I want to live a normal life again. Because if you don't trust, that means there is no better life anyway. Because I believe life is to be lived. And people say, there's that saying which says, trust, to have trust, you need to gain the trust. You need to have the love of people. You need to win people so that they start loving you again. You need to be trusted. So you need to be trustful to be trusted. So it's me who has gone through under all this, under this hatefulness, under this deceitfulness, under this, all the pain I went through. The only way I can do or I can move on is to start trusting those people again, those people who have hurt me, those people who has put me in that situation where I couldn't trust anybody. Because I lived in fear. I was living in darkness. I was hiding from people. I was, making myself miserable all the time because of what I've been put through. So the only way now is to move on. The only way is to trust myself and to trust those people. We've got to give them benefit of the doubt, because if you don't, that means you might be suffocated the rest of your life, and you don't want that. So this is where we are trying to move away from. We are moving forward now. We are being focused. We are looking forward. We want something better for ourselves. We want good health. We want a good life. We want the society to understand that this is a trustworthy person because of what I've gone through. It's an experience which will make me believe that I need better things for myself. I need trust for myself. I need to trust myself as well. Because some of these things, when they happen to you, you are not confident enough. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to react when a situation comes by. So the only way now is to understand, because it goes through as well with the wisdom. Once you have the wisdom of knowing all what has been hurting before, and you have forgiven all those, all those things which were happening to you. You have learned how to tolerate some of the things, because some of the things, even if you seek peace, you might not get it. But how do you move on now if you don't get that peace you thought you wanted? The only way is to trust, have trust, believe that these things will work. Once you seek peace and talk to these people who has been causing aggravation on you, the only way now is to trust them when they agree to say, okay, let's have peace. Trust, give them the benefit of the doubt to see how far it goes. If it doesn't pay anyway, you're not losing anything. You've given them your trust, and if they don't give it back, then maybe the only thing you can do now is to move on with your life and not, go back or look back to them and ask for something. Because sometimes we do ask for validation from people, and you will never get that validation at all, because some people look at things like, what is it in it for me if I do this, if I go back and trust her, or if I go back and talk to her again, what am I going to benefit? Because there are some people who are like that, who always look and compare, what am I going to get out of it? So as a wise person, as this person you are, who have sought trust, somebody who has looked for peace, and you got it, or you got the answer to say that we are getting into peace. And if they don't react like they are giving peace, it's entirely up to them. For me to move on, I will just ignore whatever it is and start living a life again, because this life is too short anyway. This life is for living and not for staying in a sad life. You need to have a good health. You need to have a good life. So the only way is to start trusting people again. Gradually, you move out from that cocoon where you have been hiding yourself, where you have been keeping yourself to yourself because you were afraid, because you didn't understand what was going on. You didn't know what to do about life. So now that you've realized that you've sought the peace with these people and you now have the trust, you need to follow that trust yourself, because you don't want to remain in the past. You want something better for yourself. You want something better for your children, for your family, for the rest of the community. You need to have that faith and trust that things are working out. And if the other person is not responding to that trust or to that peace we have agreed, the only way is to leave them and to move on, because that's not the end of the world. You need to have people around you who trust you, because if you practice what you preach, if you say you are a trustworthy person and you do the trusting things to others, I'm sure you get that reciprocating, ideas from other people, because they will begin to trust you. They will begin to understand where you're coming from. They will begin to know that this person is serious. So they will begin to do the same like you are doing, because we have a lot of things, a lot of issues we carry around. It's just like a heavy baggage for no reason why we keep it. And we need to have a better life, and the only way to have a better life is to move on and trust. It's like when you have a child and you tell her, this thing, I don't want you to keep doing it. You better change, or do this or do this. The child looks upon you as a parent. They will look around you and see if mommy is practicing what she preaches. I cannot tell a child to say, don't sleep after 12 midnight and don't watch this movie. It's not good. Then all of a sudden the child moves around in the room at maybe 10 o'clock or 9:30. She sees me watching the same movie. I said, don't watch it. I won't be trusted, because that child in her mind now, she's saying, okay, she told me not to do this, but she's the one doing it. So what's wrong about me doing it? Because it's all the same. We can all do it. If she can do it, I can do it, because there's nothing wrong about it. So you don't want to preach something you can't practice. You need to preach things you can practice, so that, people have a better life, so that if there are children you are talking to, they will have a better life. Now that is said, is coming back to my story, to my book, why I feel I should trust people again, because um, it's very good to be in love. If you find love, yeah, it's okay to be in love, not because other people are doing it, but because that's how I feel, that because that's how I felt and how I see the world. I've gone out there. Not all people are the same. People are quite different. So I begin to trust people. I begin to trust even those men, because I can't stay without a relationship, because I'm afraid of what happened to me in the past. I need to move on. I need to trust. I need to try and build another relationship with other people who are of the same caliber like me, people who trust what I do, people who look at me and emulate me as I am. So the same way it is reciprocated, because when you trust other people, you will be trusted. When you believe in what you believe and other people believe in it as well, you will see the changes, because the changes always are positive and they are very good to follow. So I believe if we want to live a better life, we better start trusting each other, trusting the society, trusting wherever and whatever we do, trusting all the people around us, and have a better life. Over to you, Marina. This is your host, Jossine Abrahams, signing out.